Hello ladies and gentlemen, I have today for you a PU rotation match against Mew2, and this was one of 3 games we had, but this was the only one that was really uploadable, not because the others were of bad quality, it's just there were 45 plus turns, which would have taken about half an hour to 45 minutes just to record the game, so the video length would have been pretty long, and I don't really want to do that. For those not used to rotation format, the differences are that you lead with 3 Pokemon, you can rotate your active Pokemon, and attack in the same turn. Only the active Pokemon can switch out, and any stat boosts or drops stay with the Pokemon, even if they rotate, and that includes things such as Substitute and Leech Seed. Also, choice users are still locked into the thing that they choose to lock themselves into, even if they do rotate. The big threats on the opponent's side are going to be the Combusken, just because I have nothing that outspeeds it after a speed boost, and the same also applies for Huntail if it can get up a Shell Smash. On my end, I've got the defensive Slowtox Core, Life Orb Rapidash and Ghastly, Sub-Nasty Hot Simisage and Lumberry mixed Workup Stantler, so let's get into it. So you can't really predict leads in rotation, so what I do is I just lead with 1 defensive Pokemon, 1 priority user, and then 1 Pokemon that is the opposite attacker to the priority Pokemon. In this case, Ghastly is a special attacker, which is opposite to physical Rapidash. Fortunately, I have awesome matchups because Slowpoke tanks Meditai's hits, I have Rapidash which is immune to Combusken's Fire Blast, Ghastly which is immune to Combusken's Focus Blast, and then Slowpoke which resists both of those hits. Also Dwebble, well, what isn't going to be a good matchup against a level 1 Pokemon? So first turn, I'd want to just cripple one of its attackers, so I go straight for that Thunder Wave. Catch the level 1 Dwebble, just crippling that monster speed stat as he goes for the Swagger. Slowpoke is the best thing to have swaggered because it's got just an insane defense stat, so high defense, and it's only there to take hits really, it's not there to give them out, so it's not reliant on its attack. So I predict the rotation here and just go for another Thunder Wave. However, he very nicely predicts another status move and just subs down, which is going to be a big problem because now something will have to go down in order to break the sub. So I'm going to decide to stay in here and just go for another Scold, just to try and break that sub because I know Slowpoke can live any single hit from Combusken. But he rotates to Dwebble and just goes for the knockoff, which is a little bit annoying, but I should still be able to take any single hit from Combusken, and also still wall Meditite really well. So I know he won't go for the knockoff again, so I am safe to go into Ghastly, fire up a Shadow Ball just as he gets up his Stealth Rocks. And Stealth Rocks aren't a massive deal in rotation, just because half my team is already rotated in, and only 3 Pokemon are going to have to come in to take entry hazard damage. So I did think that he would go into Combusken and go for a Fire Blast, but I just couldn't chance going into Rapidash because I don't know what his third move is yet, and I can't risk losing Rapidash because it is such an important player on my team, it's quick and it's got priority. However here, I do predict him to go for a Focus Blast, predicting me now to go into Rapidash to take another Fire Blast for the Flash Fire boost. So I go into Ghastly for the Fighting type immunity, and he pretty much makes that play choosing to use Meditite instead, so I am able to finish that off with a combination of High Jump Kit Recoil and Shadow Ball damage. So he brings in Leafeon in on the down, and I rotate to Slowpoke just to scout as he goes for a sub, and I get fully confused. It doesn't really matter though because I couldn't have done anything to it anyway. I don't think a Psychic would have been able to break the sub. Now he predicts my rotation to Rapidash, rotates into Combusken and goes to the Focus Blast. Unfortunately it does miss, which means I am able to finish him off with a Flare Blitz. I should have rotated to Ghastly there just because I resist Leafeon's attack, and he was more likely to go for Focus Blast because Rapidash outspeeds Leafeon. Now in comes the Huntail, and bear with me here, I go into Ghastly predicting him to go to Leafeon, predicting me to go to Slowpoke, predicting the Thunder Wave on Huntail. None of that happens though, as he just sacks Dwebble instead. Now here, I know he will stay in because Ghastly cannot KO Beheeyem with 1 Shadow Ball, and Psychic from Beheeyem will KO anything on my team at all in 1 hit. So I go for the Destinymon, he hasn't seen that yet and Ghastly is able to clean take out the biggest threat, which is the Beheeyem. So he's now down to his final 2, and as long as I can finish off that Huntail, I've won because there is nothing Leafeon can do to Dustox. So I rotate to Rapidash. I should have gone for Mega Horn as it would do more damage to Huntail, and still easily break Leafeon's sub. However, for an 85% accurate move, Mega Horn is notoriously inaccurate. With Flare Blitz, I actually scored a 10% burn chance, which I'm not going to say is important for the attack drop, because Ice Beam can KO all of my remaining Pokemon. The burn is actually very crucial for putting Huntail on a killing timer, the equivalent of it being Perish Songed. And another battler, Magnus Maestro, taught me this in my very early competitive battling days, that you should always run Lumberry on a settled sweeper such as Shell Smasher. Forget the White Herb, you don't need to worry about defense drops because you should just KO everything anyway. You don't need Expert Belt, you don't need Life Orb for that extra power because that's just overkill. What you need to worry about is random burns, Toxic and T-Wave, which are much more threatening to a sweep. You're more likely to be status to prevent a sweep than be KO'd by any priority move. If you get out-prioritized or priority is strong enough to KO you, then fair enough, but next time someone brings in a Trolley Volbeat or a Lipard, don't say I didn't warn you. Right, breathe man, breathe. Back into the game. You know what, I might do like a rant of the week section. Do you know what really grinds my Pokeballs? Nah, maybe not. So I went for the Quick Attack twice. First time I was predicting the Huntail, second time was that Quick Attack would still break the sub. and it would still KO the Huntail. So I go into Simisage and go for the hidden power, as it was the only thing that outspeeds Leafeon. People, including me, often forget that Leafeon actually has 95 base speed. It's really quick. And now something has to die to Huntail. It can't be the Dustox because, like I've said, I need that for the Leafeon. So Stantler goes down, and now that Huntail is gone, providing he doesn't get a crit with the Leaf Blade, that should be a good game. So that was a good game of many. Thank you, Mew2. Don't think I was ranting at you there before, because I wasn't. I was just merely expressing my opinion. For anyone who is unsure about what items to run on a sweeper, such as a Shell Smasher. So I hope you all enjoyed that, and with that being said, I will see you all next time. Goodbye.